Okay? He is an American Vine star. Betewe, he also Betewe, kenapa gue pakai Betewe? That's like WhatsApp lingo. Okay, tapi Betewe, BTW, I read somewhere he shot a movie here in Indonesia. He's a filmmaker and he's a YouTube personality based in Los Angeles.
He is most known for his magic vines, 6 seconds videos digitally edited to look as if he is doing magic. He calls his videos digital sleight of hand.
And without further ado, please stand up and give a huge welcome for Zach King!
Hello, how are you guys? Good to see you. I am so excited to be here today and talk to you about what I do and how I create the magic. And what I'm really excited is there's so many content creators in the room. How many of you are a content creator on the internet? Yeah? Okay, this is going to be awesome because I'm going to tell you a little bit about how my journey has been over the last 11 years that I've been creating these videos. And for those of you, there may be a few in the room who don't know what I do. So I'm going to play a little video of some of my favorite videos that I've ever made. This is how I hitchhike. If you kick a soccer ball just right, get a puppy.
Innovative suit, Zach can take a spin for us.
Here we go. Yeah. This is how I double my money. Might be illegal. You save up enough money. Hey, come back with my money. All right, here we go. Grabbing a souvenir from France. Oh, merci beaucoup. Oh, Mr. Stop. I like to say thank you. I like to say I have the best job in the world. I get to do some crazy stunts and have a lot of fun. And like I said, today I want to tell you about how I got started in my journey as a content creator and why I'm so excited that you guys in this room from Indonesia, you guys are the next wave of content creators and I think can become some of the most prolific, some of the largest channels in all of Asia and globally too. You guys have such a cool opportunity. You're so poised and the perfect timing in your industry here in Asia is absolutely amazing. So I want to talk to you about that as well. And I think how you see my story and how I've developed over the years as a content creator, maybe as you're sitting there, you'll just be taking little pieces of wisdom or ideas and just putting that into what you're making yourself. I'm also going to tell you about how the magic is made. And so you have to promise me and swear over your heart that you will not tell anyone else about the magic techniques, because I actually made a special video for you guys, which is going to show some behind the scenes. So, when I was 3 years old, how many of you have seen Jurassic Park? Yeah, a lot of you have seen the new Jurassic World movies, of course, but the original Jurassic Park, my parents showed it to me when I was 3 or 4 years old, and I was terrified. I don't know why they let me see it at such a young age. I have 2 young kids myself, and I will not show that to them until they're older. But I remember seeing this movie on the big screen, and what it was doing for me was all these different emotions. I was feeling scared, but I was also feeling excited. I was on this journey. I was loving the characters, but I was terrified at the same time. And I was wondering, like, how is it that these moving picture frames, every 24 frames a second, how could that convey an emotion to me? And I always set out from that little age, I was like, someday I want to be able to do that for other people and create these emotions in the moving picture business. And it wasn't until I was 7 or 8 years old that my parents actually, gave me a home video camera. I was at a wedding, and I think they wanted to kind of shoo me away, so they gave me the home video camera, and that was the first time I was seeing, the world through this lens, the way I wanted to interpret that scene and that wedding. And as I grew up, my sisters, these are my 3 younger sisters, they were my Asian labor as I was creating these movies. And they were great help, and to this day, they'll still once in a while grab the boom pole or grab the camera or help me act in a scene. And so we just made movies all through my childhood. Do any of you have siblings that you've made movies with over the years? You find it's really great to have 3 crew members. And I also got into stop motion. And this takes so much patience. For people that make movies that are in the stop motion business, I give them so much credit because you're doing frame by frame. But this is where I learned a lot of the technique that I know today. And as we grew up making these movies, I was like, well, someday I'm gonna get a nice laptop and a computer. So I eventually saved about $5,000 and I bought an Apple laptop. I bought my first couple $1,000 video camera. And as I was doing this in high school, I was like, well, someday I want to drive down to Los Angeles, Hollywood. I want to go make some movies down there, eventually be a director, a producer. And so I applied to film school. And sadly, I didn't get into film school, so I was really bummed, but I still actually got in my car. I drove 1,000 miles down to California, to Hollywood, and I went to the classes. And I learned a cool tip that you can actually just sit in the back of the classroom, and the teachers never ask if you're really a student there. So I just got 4 years of education. I still paid for it, but I was supposed to be a music major, but I just sat in the film classes, and eventually after 4 years they gave me the degree. But what was cool was that first year I was in film school, I technically wasn't a film student, and I got pretty bored. We weren't making as many film projects as I wanted. And so I started making these videos for YouTube. And YouTube was just maybe 2 or 3 years old at the time. You couldn't make any money on YouTube. It was just if you loved posting videos to the world, you posted them there. And I was creating these tutorials. So in my dorm room here, I was making tutorials that were really nerdy. I was screen recording my laptop, and it would be like, hey, go up to File, Edit, and add the glow to the shape, and that makes a lightsaber effect. And I was just teaching online, posting these videos quietly in my dorm. And that's when I noticed something interesting. As I was making these tutorials, I noticed the comments. And if any of you are content creators, the comments can be a place where there's either really mean stuff, but there's some encouraging stuff. It's a mixed bag. But for me, I noticed some of the comments were saying, hey, it'd be really fun if you showed these tutorial and these effects with a short story. And that gave me an idea. It was just like a quick, what if I did? What if I was teaching how to make a lightsaber effect from Star Wars, and I was like, what if I put a little cute cat and the Star Wars together? So I ended up making a little video called Jedi Kittens. And this is the practical tip that I get from it, which is listen to your audience, and to do that, you have to really be in the comments. So I made this video. I'm going to give you a little sneak peek of Jedi Kittens.
What did I say? You two are grounded 1 week. No Star Wars, and I want all this cleaned up.
So that video actually changed my life in a fun way. How many of you are cat lovers? How many of you are dog lovers? Oh, it's about equal. If you like dogs, I have another old video on my channel called Indiana Bones, Raiders of the Lost Bark. You can check it out, it's adorable. But I learned a lot of things doing that YouTube video, and that was the first viral video. I got a couple million views overnight, and if you have ever gotten a lot of views overnight, it totally changes your mind because you get this bug. It's almost like a drug. You're like, wait, how can I do that again? Is that possible? Like, what was it about it that worked? And you just start inventing that video process and applying it to the next video that you make, and you continue eventually to grow an audience, and you learn about that and growing a community. But one of the early tips I learned when a platform called Vine came out was to get to the point. And if you're a content creator on the internet now, of course you have to start the video with something that actually grabs someone's attention. And it's a great lesson that I learned was just get to the point. And that, for me, I poise these 15-second videos, 30-second videos that I'm making, still framework them as movies. And what I mean by that is, in a movie you have a beginning, a middle, and end. You have character development, you have all these different settings and these different a couple different A, B, C stories going on. And similar to a short video, you have to have a beginning, a middle, and end. So even in this 15-second piece, there's a small story arc about love. And the concept was, it's really hard for a still life painting to have a romantic relationship. And luckily my wife is down to be painted. When we make our videos, they're all practical. So for that, it took a couple hours, but I was painted. My clothes were all painted days before, and there was really, holes behind the wall here. So I love the practical aspect of my videos, and we can get more into behind the scenes in a little bit. Another part of my job is, watching the trends quickly. I have to quickly be scouring the internet, so me and my team are always waiting for what's gonna be the next thing. And the hard part about that is, we wanna make a video about the trend before it really becomes a trend. So I remember the moment that we were watching the bottle cap challenge for about a week, and it was really, I remember watching, no one had posted about it, but we kept seeing a couple tweets come in. We're like, I think this could be a thing because it's really easy for people to do. But then the moment, it was around the time that Jason Statham made this video that we realized this could be a cool trend to do. So I remember seeing this video, and if you don't know what the bottle cap challenge was, it was just a fun little goofy thing that people were, kick spinning, and the bottle cap came off. And he has, of course, a really cool slow motion one. But I was like, what would I do if, we had Zach and the Magic doing this? So maybe Zach's version would go a little wrong.
This is the bottle cap challenge. Ready?
So we posted that, and part of my job is to make things very quick sometimes. So we posted that, and it was insane. We have a platform that's getting very large in the US called TikTok, and I remember that got over 100 million views. But I don't know if you realize that front drink that I was drinking there in the beginning was called, do you guys have kombucha here? Yeah, so it's a really popular drink in LA. It's like the cool drink, but it costs $5, really expensive. But I put that kombucha in there, and luckily the owner of the company was like, hey, saw the videos, thanks for all the views. You get a lifetime supply of kombucha, so now I get I drink 2 a day. It's probably a little too much, but that's like $10 of kombucha a day. For me, when I'm looking at the trends, one thing I get scared of is that trends sometimes, depending on the ones you choose, can be lower quality content, and I don't necessarily love doing things just because they're a trend. So my rule is, even though trends are here today, they're gonna be gone tomorrow. When I create, and when you create, you should keep that in mind. And what I mean by that is, you have to frame your videos so they can live on beyond the trend. Here's an example. I made this video when, in the US, about 2.5 years ago, we saw a solar eclipse. But I knew most of the world wouldn't see this solar eclipse. It was just us in California and Oregon on the West Coast. And I was like, well, I don't want to make a video just for the solar eclipse for that small of an audience. I want people in Indonesia to be able to understand this. So I made the concept of the video more universal in that maybe the Earth actually just has a light bulb. Here comes the sun. Here comes the sun. Here comes the sun. And when I create videos, another thing that I'm doing is building a community. I'm going to get into that in a little bit towards the end, talking about how you can cultivate your community. And it goes in really small ways. Small things can go a long way. It's like I have a book, a children's book. I'm working on bringing it to Indonesia soon, but it's really cool. And a bunch of kids in America for World Book Day actually dressed up as the character. And it's doing things that are actually engaging the people who are doing the most effort for your content. So we were sending them other free merch and other books as they were celebrating that. But we've got to do a lot of cool things over the last few years, me and my team. You know, it started out with just me creating these videos. My buddy and I were once tasked to create 50 videos for Twitter and Vine with the World Cup. And we ran around the world with Nike creating these videos. So this is Kobe in this photo. And I remember when I got on set, you know, I was like, okay, cool, it's Kobe's gonna be here. I met his manager. Hey, good to meet you, manager. And I was like, hey, I'm not a really big sports person, so this was my mistake when I said, hey, it's so good to meet you, LeBron. And that was the last time that we worked with Kobe. That was the last time we worked with Kobe. And I had a great experience, and I traveled around the world with Nike, and this was really large in my career because as I was doing this, I was getting to be with the top creatives of this company and learning exactly how they frame their videos and how they make their content. And the biggest thing that I learned is, you know, when you're creating content, you're engaging your audience in the context of what they were doing. The audience is talking, you know, before the game, they're talking during the game, and they're making videos after the game. And I learned that as a content creator, you're kind of always on. You're always finding these moments to have good conversation and make it, but meaningful conversation. You know, we've done a lot of cool projects. Like if you go, someone was just asking me earlier, you know, how can I learn your magic for beginners? How can my kids, you know, learn to make these jump cut tricks? And I told them, well, we have this free course in the Apple Store. So if you go to an Apple Store for the next couple months, there's a course and you learn for 2 hours taught by me, not in person, but through video, how to do the jump cut. And you get a little slice of knowledge on how I create the videos in the most simple terms. So there's cool ways that we can spread our magic and get kids inspired that way. But then other cool projects have come up. And when you guys are content creating and making your businesses and being entrepreneurs, the one question I think you should really focus on asking yourself is, you know, what would be like the dream project? You should always have a dream project on the horizon. And when I was coming up with the safety video for Turkish Airlines, how many of you have flown Turkish Airlines and seen the video? A few of you down here, yeah. It's not as prominent an airline in Southeast Asia, but if you fly Turkish, you'll see me do the safety demonstration. And that was always a dream. Like, wouldn't it be cool if they actually made those safety videos like not boring? And what if I was in there like doing the magic and magically buckling my seat, or putting on the life vest or the oxygen mask? So that always have a dream project on your horizon. And you know, of course, another passion of mine is actually filmmaking and making movies. And so one of the ways that we've been able to make money as a studio, and a lot of you guys as content creators are going to face this, like, how do you actually finance your next YouTube video? For us, since we're in LA, we partner with a lot of studios to help promote their movie, because of course you guys have to value yourself as content creators. You have an audience coming to you to watch your videos, and that's worth something. So what we do is, because my audience knows I'm already passionate about movies, we'll partner with these different movies. So for example, Disney's Zootopia. How many of you saw that movie? Yeah, it's a really fun animated movie, and I had a part in the movie. A lot of people don't know it, but I am a muzzled wolf in the police station there. So he's being arrested, and I say a really short line. It's a really easy character to miss. It's about 3 seconds long, so next time you watch the movie, you can watch for it. But one of the fun ways we partnered with them is I had created this video, and some of my audience had known it. And then Disney ended up, their animators created this video, which was like another recreation. So that's just like a fun little way we partnered and joked together. Another cool one that I got to do was with Chris Pratt and Bryce Dallas Howard to bring the Jurassic Park thing, full circle. I got to work on a promo with them. I'm gonna play just a really short clip of this. Let's see. Okay, some of my best work, I think. What do you guys think?
It's good, but how about we add more dinosaurs?
Oh, we can't really add more dinosaurs at
Sorry,
this.
aren't you an intern?
Yeah, I am.
Uh-oh, go time, we gotta upload this trailer.
Yeah, I've got this guy. Guys?
Did it suddenly just become ominous?
Here, you have a phone? Thank you.
Could've just used the flashlight app. After you, Bryce.
What is that?
You guys gotta get out of here! I gotta go!
That's a terrible place to hide.
Alright, you gotta go. Guys, start in the rooms this way. Let's go on 3, 2.
It's a Unix system. ideafest.
At some point, you're gonna turn this back into my phone, right? That's inside how magic works. Can I get Instagram on this?
Zach, get that trailer on a floppy disk.
Oh, Michael.
Wait, so it was a cat that made the dinosaur sound and tore apart the monitor? Something seems kind of...
We gotta do. Thank you. I remember being terrified when I had to pitch that to Chris Pratt when he got on set. I was like, so we're gonna do this whole action adventure thing. It's gonna be really short, and then it was like at the end, because we had to kill him with the dinosaur. I was like, and then you die, and he was like, I love it, cool. And I was like, sweet, okay. But the Universal team was kind of like, oh, we can't kill him, but whatever. He was down. So we work with these movies to promote them for our audience because they're movies I get excited about. It was a fun one. We got to work with Jack Black. He's hilarious. He's kind of weird, but he's hilarious. Here's a short clip from him on set.
When Jack first showed up, we didn't quite know what the day was going to be like. He was, I guess, just different than we expected when he first showed up.
So, yeah, that's great. So Jack, exactly. Perfect.
Glorious.
And then
I too, you bastard.
Just different.
The dark arts.
yeah, he was hilarious. A question I get is, where do the magical ideas come from? You get all these strange ideas. Someone just asked me in the back too, like, where do you get these wacky ideas? For me, they come from a lot of different places. In the practical terms, they come from finding the moments where you can let your brain kind of relax a little bit. It's that moment between the subconscious and the conscious. That's why if I were to ask you, where do you get your ideas? A lot of you would say the shower or driving, or I guess here in Indonesia it would be driving on a Grab or something. Though I don't know if you can fully sit on those things and not be terrified. I was on my way here sitting on a motorcycle. You guys are crazy. In LA, we have a lot of bad traffic, but I would never go on one of those in the traffic. But I talk about, themes, and themes that are universal, which is one of the reasons our videos really have hit globally. When I talk about fears, everybody has the fear. I used to be afraid that when you crack an egg, this might happen.
Does anyone else have chicklophobia? The irrational fear that when you crack an egg...
Has that ever happened to anybody? I feel like if it happened, it would probably be in Indonesia on like a farm. Ideas also can be inspired by wishes. And so one category I always talk about is, well, what if you could make something possible? What if you guys may not have Amazon 1 hour yet, maybe you do, but at my house, I have Amazon 1 hour delivery, like literally it's so fast, but I still wish I could grab it off the video screen and have the product in real life, so I made a video about that. I wonder if that would be stealing. Invention. So I always talk about, similar to wishes and dreams, like what would be really cool if you had could invent something that could do anything you wanted, whether it's like laundry, it sucks it up, washes it, folds it, puts it back in your closet. What if it's a device that it looks like a red frisbee, but when you throw it on somebody at the pool, it expands into like an inflatable tube and saves their life. So we make videos about inventions. And of course, one of the topics that, of course, I'm known for is illusions and the magic. But one of the keys here is I never make a magic video that's just an illusion. It still has to have a story element, which is why, when I carry a journal around with me a lot of the time where I'll write my new ideas. But if the idea doesn't have a story idea, if it's more of just a trick mechanic, then I don't make it yet and I wait for something to happen. Like for example, the Ice Bucket Challenge became popular a couple years ago, and I always wanted to disappear using water and liquid simulation, but I never got to until the Ice Bucket Challenge came around, and then I finally had a small story that made sense to make the illusion. So it turned out like this.
The Ice Bucket Challenge. You ready?
As I'm creating these videos, it used to be just me and my buddy Aaron in our garage after we were graduated from film school, but now it's become a whole team of people that make these videos possible. As I travel around the world, I get to work with great crews. As I am at my own, we have a studio space now where we can actually make a mess and not get in trouble from our landlord. And I have a great team that helps me make these videos possible. So there was a day when it was just me making these videos. And now I get to do some really cool projects in the studio space. So this is the part where, don't tell anybody how I did it, but I made this special video for you, which shows a little bit of the behind the scenes, sometimes when I was making these by myself, and now sometimes with my team.
All right, here's the remote. I was losing stuff.
Oh, my sweater, sweet.
Nice. Cut. I think one of the reasons these videos are so magical is because if you see me inside of a mirror, well, I'm probably not inside of a mirror, but I'm inside of a duplicate room made to look like the reflection. And if you see me climbing up a wall in a video, well, I'm not like Spider-Man, I don't have special skills. It's probably that the entire set is rotating with the camera to give you that illusion.
Now you know the secrets. Don't be telling anybody. Hey, Nate.
Whoa, Zach, no, dude, not cool.
And I got a ladder. I'm under the ladder.
Don't do that. I'm not
Nothing's
joking.
gonna happen.
Oh my gosh, Zach! Zach! I told you, man!
I'm freaking out here.
Sorry.
Not ladder. I'm under the ladder. Don't do that. I'm not joking. Oh my gosh, Zach! Zach!
You good? Okay. I'm good.
Time to face my greatest fear.
Ready and go.
Time to face my greatest fear.
Okay, good.
Alright.
Yeah.
I told you I have the best job in the world. And I also get to do my own stunts, which is fun. So you guys are all laughing at the jump cut and the freeze, and now you kind of get to make sense of what I was saying about, you know, there's that jump cut moment. But I thought it'd be fun to try to make a video with you guys. So if you guys are down, I think we should get my phone on the screen and see if we can make a quick, fast demo here. So I'm gonna need a couple volunteers. Let's get the lights on in the room. That would be super helpful for the camera. You can throw my phone on the screen here so they can see how I'm gonna live edit really quick. I'd like a couple volunteers for me. How about, do you guys mind being the volunteers? Yes. So like, can 3 of you together all do it? Okay, so you're gonna be my volunteers. You can stay there. So these 3 in the front row. I'm gonna end up grabbing you and putting you guys on stage. And so I'm gonna go through a lot of instructions. So just bear with me, pay attention, but let's practice as we go. So I'll say, the concept is gonna be I need a volunteer, and everyone's gonna raise their hand, right? And I'm gonna be like, oh, how about you? I'm gonna grab you guys, the 3 of you, because it needs to look like a difference there. And then I'm gonna throw you on stage. So now I'm gonna walk you through how we do that video. So I'm gonna say, hey, I need a volunteer. And what are you guys gonna do? Everyone's gonna raise their hand. So let's just run through, everyone raise your hand. Good, now here's the key. You have to, nope, why'd you put your hands down? I didn't say put your hands down. Put your hands up. Okay, so I'm gonna say, hey, I need a volunteer, put the hands up. And then I'm gonna be like, hey, how about you? And I'm gonna make that sound effect. No, some of you put your hands up, keep them back up, put them up. So that's the important part. If you mess this up, the whole video doesn't work. You have to stay frozen, because you guys were laughing at me, so now I'm gonna keep you frozen. You have to stay frozen, and then I'm gonna grab you guys in the front row. So I make that sound effect. Then you guys are gonna run up, just run right over here, okay? And then I'm gonna walk over here, oh, thank you. Then I'm gonna go like this. Oh, sweet, can we leave the lights like frozen right there? That's perfect lighting. I'll grab you and then I'll put you right over here, okay? And then I'll tell you to jump. I'll point to an area and be like right there. And then I'll say 3, 2, 1. Okay, that's when you jump and act like, whoa, I appeared out of nowhere. And then all of you, you're still gonna be frozen. But once they jump, then you can clap. Then you can be like, yeah, okay? It's always awkward if you don't like clap. And they're just there like, okay. All right. Here we go. Let's roll it. And hey, I need a volunteer. Oh wow, there's a lot of you. How about you guys? Okay. Yep. Come up behind me. You guys can move. Those 3 people. Yep. You know who you are. You can go too. It's fine. You can go. Okay. 3, 2. I'm gonna continue. Everyone stay frozen. Oh. Okay, you guys are gonna go right here. Don't kill yourself. Okay, right here, more. Almost to the edge, just don't fall off. Everyone bunch together like your best friends. Over here, see my hand pointing? Look on the screen, look up there. More this way. There you go. Everybody. Okay, yes, here we go. Remember when they jump on the ground, you all clap, okay? Ready? 3, 2, 1. Oh! Nice! Thank you guys. Okay, take a seat. Give them a round of applause. Man, you guys are quick. I'm telling you, Indonesia's gonna take off. Okay, here we go. So you can see my screen up here. I'm gonna do a really fast edit. I grab them in the first clip. Let's see. I'm gonna go. You'll notice I do my own sound effects just to help the cut sometimes sounds better. That's a little delayed. Let's do it right there. Apply. Second clip. So we had 3 clips there. If you're not following, that's totally cool. I grab them there, and then I'm going to throw them at the end. I'm going to cut around here. And then the last clip. Oh, we're almost there. This could be cool. I don't know. You guys were taking a while to get in position, so I may have moved a little bit. But let's see how this works there. Apply. Okay, I'm going to redub it because we probably don't have sound, but here it goes. Hey, I need a volunteer. There's a lot of you. Okay, how about you guys? Oh, okay. Over here. Whoa. Wow. Nice. Good job, guys. It's really awkward when that doesn't work. You know, thanks for being in that. Appreciate it. Maybe come find me afterwards and I'll get you the clip somehow. We'll airdrop it. You know, it comes down to a couple important themes, and this is what I want to get into talking to you guys directly as content creators. Because again, I think Indonesia, as I'm already seeing, you guys have such a bright future in tech. You have a head start against all these other countries in Asia and globally too. And it's just, you have so many of you and all these ideas that haven't been created yet. So I'm excited to see what comes out of this country. But you know, technology without story is meaningless. You have to remember that as you're going on Facebook, you're going on Instagram and all these platforms, and the platforms will always change every couple of years. So don't get stuck on those, but just know it's about your brand and it's about the stories you tell on those platforms. Because those platforms couldn't be anything without your guys' voices. So you have to remember that it's not, don't try to get caught up with the new technology, what's coming out. It can still be a part of your process and a tool, but you have to actually grow the community through your storytelling. And a couple of like just quick, dirty, easy tricks that I've been learning over the years to grow a healthy audience. One is to give. And you know the kind of giving where you go to a website and they're like, hey, I'm gonna teach you how to do real estate marketing or whatever, but then after you click it, you realize like they're gonna ask your email and then eventually money. I'm saying if you're doing real estate or whatever your business is or whatever your content is you're making, you give without any strings attached. Like when I was making those tutorials, I ended up paying through college by making these courses that were 8 hours long that you could buy for like $50 and download if you wanted to know like 10 hours of material. But I gave hundreds and hundreds of free tutorials online and never asked my audience to buy those things. They were just on my website. So you have to give with zero strings attached, and that'll build the core of your community. Then what you're gonna do next is you're gonna gather. So this is where you're gonna find the right platforms for you and your content. Not all content works on every platform. So I like to focus on certain platforms that I'm passionate about, where I know my audience is consuming it, and then I learn about the heartbeat. Essentially, you're measuring the pulse of that audience, like literally from the basics of when are they up, when are they watching, to what do they enjoy about your content. And I think as a content creator, you should always be creating what you love first, and then the audience will find you and gravitate around you. Otherwise, if you just create for the audience, over time, you're gonna realize you've kind of lost yourself as an artist. And then the third is, this is where you actually make meaningful one-to-one interactions. So what you can do is, for example, I had a book, right? I had a kid's book. This tweet came in the other day, and the dog had eaten the kid's book, and he was really sad. But you know, we tweeted back at him, and we sent him a new one, and there's little things like that that go a long way. Also, I think one of the differences between celebrities, and you're seeing it converge a little bit, but celebrities and online creators is, with online creators, it's a little more personal. You have these authentic moments that you can give your audience. So, for example, when I had my second son was born, I made this quick announcement video for the audience that was dying to kind of see what he looked like.
My wife just gave birth, and now I'm a dad of 2 under 2, so life is insane and crazy. But I want to introduce you to my second little family member here. This is little baby Liam King. Say hi to the camera. Oh, he's sleeping right now, so. Oh, babe, he is poop. Oh, we got a pooper.
And you know, you also can plan around moments that you know people are going to talk about. There are repeatable things that you can just hit on that you should create for. So, for example, is Valentine's big here? Do you guys have a version of Valentine's where you have to give you have to buy overpriced flowers for your loved one, and you have to go to a really expensive dinner? Well, my wife and I, we have kids, so we don't really have time for that. But you know, you still got to keep up with Instagram, right? So we have to make the pretty photos. So this is what we do on Valentine's Day now.
Does that work?
Oh yeah, that's great. I love it.
Yeah?
Take Liam needs to change it. I'll sit.
Oh, did you poop? Did you poop?
Hashtag still in love, just have kids, busy. And you know, the biggest thing, and it's an element of surprise. When you're creating your content, you look at the landscape of what's being created every day, and you just have to stand out. And that's one of the ways I came up with the magic. It wasn't something I sat down and was blueprinting, trying to figure out, but it was something that I realized in the beginning, no one was doing this style of video magic. So I call it the element of surprise. But a lot of people, I remember when this video came out, I saw BuzzFeed. I don't know if that's popular here for you guys, but BuzzFeed came out, and you know how they have those long headlines? It was like, they put, I'm half Chinese, so they were like, really smart Asian student pays attention in class.
Answers all of your questions about documentation and research. And what edition will you use?
So never forget, the element of surprise when you're creating your videos. Hey, I'm going to be around a little bit afterwards, so I'd love to meet you guys, and I want to wish you guys the best of luck in your content creation. I've been to Indonesia a couple times over the last few years, and I get excited for you.